Hi, welcome to PCMag Live. I'm Sascha Segan, he's Will Greenwald, and we're here in the PCMag Labs in New York City today to bring you the 3 top tech news stories of the day, one cool thing from our labs, and answer one of your reader questions. So let's get to it. Today...
Titanfall!
So that thing came out, and the funny thing about Titanfall is that I know absolutely nothing about it, because when it comes to console gaming in my house, we can only play things that are appropriate for 8-year-olds. And I hear Titanfall not so appropriate for the under 12 set.
Maybe once she finishes GTA 5, but for now, Titanfall is for the Xbox One/Xbone, or the PC, though you need to get it through Origin, not Steam. And it's basically a sort of, made by the guys who did Call of Duty, and it's a mech game, shooter game, parkour game. It combines a lot of interesting aspects into what basically is a squad-based shooter. 2 teams fighting each other, multiplayer only, and when they fight enough, they can summon Titans, which are these big, several-story tall mechs that shoot rockets and can punch people into bloody chunks. And it's pretty rad from the beta I played, and I'm going to start playing the real version very soon.
So what's the difference between the beta that you were playing earlier and the final version that's coming out today? Is it just that the final version is public?
Pretty much, yeah. Presumably they added stability aspects. They've added the entirety of the content that was missing in the beta, which actually was more of sort of a pre-release demo, because it only had a few modes, a few maps, not all of the content. So we're going to see the entirety of Titanfall for the first time as it's released today.
And now, how big a deal is this for the Xbox One? I mean, I've been hearing for a while that, oh, there's no super compelling game that's going to cause everyone to buy Xbox Ones. Is this it?
There are a couple of very good ones. It's important to note that Titanfall is console exclusive to the Xbox One, which means it's not on PS4, it's not on any of the other consoles, but you can get it on PC, which is kind of a smart strategy from Microsoft, because either way you're playing it on a Microsoft ecosystem. Mm-hmm. But this is an exclusive made by the guys who did Modern Warfare, and that's kind of a big deal. And it has mechs. The beta I played, very compelling actually.
So do we know when the review is going up?
Nope.
Okay,
very soon.
Review's going up soon. We've got guys playing Titanfall in the labs as we speak, back there somewhere. Yep. Moving on, so South by Southwest is going on right now. It has become this horrific squid-like tentacly convention thing, trying to embrace anything that is hip in Silicon Valley and Los Angeles and possibly Nashville. But yesterday, Edward Snowden, the famed NSA leaker, spoke through several layers of proxies at South by Southwest and started talking about how he really feels about security and privacy and publicity and what the government is doing. And it's a lot more nuanced than you might think. For instance, he's not against the government spying on people. He just wants targeted spying on people that are suspected of crimes, rather than bulk data collection of everyone. And he points out that while the NSA is collecting this massive quantity of data on everything and spending time sifting through it, they didn't act on specific intelligence about people like Tamerlan Tsarnaev, the Boston bomber. Did you pay any attention to what Snowden was saying? What do you think of his speech?
It's a very interesting thing he puts out, and it really addresses one of the fundamental problems of the idea that the NSA is monitoring everything and everyone, because you're dealing with such a low signal to noise ratio, like me trying to say signal to noise a few seconds earlier, that so much stuff is garbled, so much stuff is going to be lost in the background of this massive sea of information. It's like any media you like, anything on the internet, you're going to find 90% at the lowest crap and 10% good stuff. And that only gets smaller and smaller from there. And if you're spying on everyone, filtering out the stuff you actually need to watch is logistically, more like putting the morals aside, that's a logistical nightmare.
Right, so the other important point he made was that end-to-end encryption is a great thing, PGP, encrypting your messages, encrypting your phone calls, etc., etc. But the UIs right now are way too difficult, and encryption is designed for crypto geeks, and it's not designed for the rest of us. So I'm curious to see if products like the Black Phone, or really things that come beyond the Black Phone, will start to make encrypted communications something that normal people who are not crypto geeks can actually use.
I'd really like to say we need sort of a PGP equivalent to Ubuntu, like what it was to Linux, but that implies that Ubuntu like,
yeah, no,
did more than make it accessible to a few people.
Yeah, we need the iOS of PGP is what we need. And speaking of that, iOS 7.1 finally came out, and you can download it for all of your iDevices.
When's the security patch scheduled?
Well, it actually patches a whole bunch of things. This is a must-have upgrade for your iDevices, especially if you have an iPhone 4. It makes them noticeably faster. One of the big changes is CarPlay, Apple's new integration into cars that aren't out yet. But there are a ton of minor interface changes. You can reduce the motion, you can bold the fonts, there's improved fingerprint recognition. They get rid of a lot of the crashes that people have been having. One of the things I find really interesting about the interface changes, though, is it keeps giving people the option to roll back a lot of the 3D effects that we saw in iOS 7. And I just wonder, this is kind of the ongoing question about Apple in the post-Steve Jobs era of, are they less committed to their aesthetics? You know, are they looking to give people more options as opposed to in previous versions of iOS when they just said, no, this is the one way things will look and you do not have an option?
Well, it's a slight reach, but Apple putting CarPlay in iOS 7.1 is a hint that that could be the case, because no cars have CarPlay now. They won't anytime soon. We might see some later this year, we don't know. But if you can have CarPlay in your phone or your iPad right now, that could imply that maybe not publicized as much. They're working with perhaps companies that make car stereos or anything that you would put in the dashboard of a current model.
Well, they're working, I mean,
why else would you want CarPlay on your phone now?
Because they're working with more than a dozen car manufacturers, and at the Geneva Auto Show, it's either last week or the week before, I think it was last week, we saw all of these 2014 models that will have CarPlay. These cars are coming to market soon, don't worry. That's the news for today. Let's move on to a question. V asks, what is a good video baby monitor? We asked our consumer electronics team this question, and they said, don't buy a video baby monitor. Right now, the IP webcam space is good enough and high quality enough and affordable enough that you don't want to go with one of these flimsy dedicated baby monitors. Get something like a drop cam. Drop cam works with phones and tablets. It has zoom. It has great two-way audio. It's even less expensive than high-end video baby monitors. Look for these home monitoring cameras that are more general purpose, and you'll get a lot more use and a lot more quality out of it than you will with a dedicated video baby monitor.
And it lets you build sort of a home ecosystem of cameras if you want a security camera in addition to, and it all ties together in the same app, which makes it much more flexible than just a baby monitor.
Absolutely. So moving on to one cool thing that we have in our labs, the cool thing for today is the LaCie Fuel. This is a $200 networked hard drive that you can use to serve media, especially to phones and tablets. It's a 1 terabyte USB 3 hard drive, but it also has a built-in Wi-Fi router and media server, which works with the Seagate suite of apps for iOS and Android. Seagate owns LaCie nowadays. We really like this device. I was reading the review, which is in editing right now. It's going up soon. It's going to be our co-editor's choice for networked hard drives. And it's just got a great enclosure. It's fast. The apps are really easy to use, and if you want to serve a lot of media through your home, especially to iPads, this looks like a really great buy. Do you have anything like this at your house?
Not currently, although I do want to note that this does have one important feature that I've not seen in any hard drive yet: a lanyard ring.
Yeah, I guess you can carry it on your keychain so that you can surf your terabyte worth of music and videos on your phone while you're walking around. You'll look a little odd, though, I'm pretty sure. In any case,
not as odd as if you wear Google Glass.
The review of the LaCie Fuel will be up very soon now. And that's it for PCMag Live today. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with more excellent things.